Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you're well. We're back to regularly scheduled programming today with our Bromsgrove Sporting save on FM21 after our sort of foray into something new with the first edition of Bears Corner over the weekend. If you haven't checked that out, do go and give it a watch. Still plenty of laughs to be had, despite the weekend of fixtures almost being over. Back to the save. We're really at the business end now, sort of 4 or 5 games left. I wanted to bring you this game today. It's against sort of Bromsgrove's historic foe in Kidderminster Harriers. But it's more important than that. We are struggling a little bit. The last month in the game has been pretty poor. And we're just clinging on to that playoff place. And it would be a shame to lose it now. So, need your support. See you in a second. Right guys, here we go. As you can see, as I said, last month, this April, absolutely rubbish. I think the last game was this Chester ball draw. We weren't too disheartened with that because we kept another clean sheet, and March was a really good month. We'd kept it solid at the back. We'd won 3 out of 5, draws in the other 2, so we'd avoided defeat. And to be fair, the couple of months before that were good as well, and they've got us into this good position. But we followed that up with some poor results. I'm not going to go into each fixture in too much detail. We'll just quickly have a run through. Telford was a bit of a mad one. We went behind early, got one back. First half, dwindled away, and then conceded 2 within a few minutes. Really frustrating. But we went back and did the same thing to make it 3 each. So we sort of avoided a loss there. So that wasn't too bad a result. This one was frustrating. Again, sort of going to sleep for 5-10 minutes, conceding 2 goals, got one back, but it wasn't enough. We didn't have enough to throw at it. It wasn't a great performance, and a frustrating loss because that wasn't against a team right up at the top. We bounced back, Alfreton. They're right down at the bottom, so I did take it with a pinch of salt, really. But to bag 5 goals, Chris Lake back. With a hat-trick, Cowley with another 2. He's been bagging pretty much every game. Absolutely battered them. But again, although we were 1-0 up, conceded in the first sort of 15-20 minutes, which you'll see it's a little bit of a feature, and it's something that I'm trying to stamp out because it's we're always chasing. We're always chasing and falling behind. Same again here. Kings Lynn. Now, obviously, Kings Lynn are... I'll show you the league properly in a second, but Kings Lynn are right up there in second. So I wasn't feeling massively optimistic about this game, to be fair. But we responded well, but not until the last 10 minutes. So we were 2-0 down. There you go, 2 goals in the first 15 minutes or whatever. And it wasn't a great performance until we just went for it. I had to think a little bit outside the box, and I don't know really if I was just trying to avoid a battering when we went 2-0 down so early, or if I was just trying to keep it tight. I'd like to say I was just trying to keep it tight with a throw of the dice at the end, but it may well, to be honest, have just been to avoid a battering. I wasn't particularly confident the way we'd started. But when we did go for it, we kept it at 2-0, kept it tight for the rest of the game. Cowley again with 2 late ones, and we just didn't have enough in the tank to turn it around fully. And it to be fair, it did look like we were going to go into that last 10 minutes was all us. But I'd have been really pleased with a draw before then against them. I know we're not that far behind them in terms of league places, but in terms of quality and resources, they're far and away above us. So again, not too bad a result. And up until this point, it wasn't a great month, but I was banking on finishing strong to not sort of have April as a write-off, but more red. Southport, annoying again, 16 minutes. Look, first 20 minutes we're behind. Equalised, but then conceded another one at a really bad time. And then they sort of, when we were pushing, they killed us in the 88th. Cowley got another one back, but it was too late then really to hope for anything. I suppose the only pleasing thing about this is you're seeing Cowley's name. We've got him flying. He's scoring goals all over the place. But the defensive side is just taken a bit of a tumble. You can see we're scoring more goals. There's only the Chester game and this last one now where we've drawn a blank, and I don't know what happened here. We went behind, not as early. Obviously, I did try to just pull it back a little bit, especially early on, to try and avoid those slow starts. But we just never got going forward, and that's been that's been a rarity. So I'm hoping that's just a blip within a blip, that last one, and that we've not lost something going forward. I haven't changed too much. I have made some tweaks. I think with sort of 5 games to go, chucking a whole tactical overhaul in there isn't necessarily the thing to do. I've got to try and find a way of working with what we've been doing, I think. So on to today's game. Kidderminster Harriers is a big one. For Sporting personally, I mean, we've not been able to really play them competitively. So the rivalry is a historic one from the Bromsgrove Rovers, the previous team in the town. But between the towns, that's the big football rivalry. I think that's the main one. That's the historic one. Some big clashes over the years between the two, and in the game certainly it's the one. I think with Worcester just being a local one. Yeah, it's that's the fierce rivalry. This is the one. So there is a little bit of that at stake, but for more so, I was going to show you the table, wasn't I? More so, it is this situation now. Surely look to have won the league. They're 7 points clear. I don't see them being reined in, and we've sort of been cut adrift from getting any higher because of this last month. We were always sort of 3 or 4 points behind, I think, the last time we checked, but that opportunity's gone now. 9 points, I think. We've got a game in hand, but I don't see us catching these guys unless we have a real swing around in form. And we're level with Telford. Hereford are in touching distance. Southport are in touching distance. South Shields are in touching distance. So these are all teams we've lost to. Southport, South Shields, Telford we drew. So these two especially really costly losses because they've got them right back into it. So frankly, we need a result here today because otherwise we are going to get pulled into this, and it would be a real shame. I'd class that then as a failure. I think at the start of the season, if you gave me 9th, I'd be really happy with it because we're supposed to be fighting with Hitchin and Alfreton, and we've blasted away from that. Never really been in doubt. But now that we've been in here for a big chunk of the season, anything other than finishing the playoffs for me would be a disappointment. So we just need a result. Pleasingly, it wasn't a great start for Cowley, was it? But he's the top scorer in the league, top player of the match as well. So he's been absolutely flying. Now the games we've got left after this: Spennymoor, Warrington, Hitchin, and Darlington. Now I know Hitchin are down the bottom. I mean, not that this means too much, but it's nice to sort of see. Hitchin down the bottom, Darlington down here, Spennymoor 13th. Who was the other one? Warrington, they're 19th. So Spennymoor are the highest we've got left. So if we can just get a result today, we do have a real chance then of kicking on with some form against teams that are all either nothing to play for at all or down fighting for sort of their place in the league. So I suppose the fixtures are with us, but we've got to find some form. We've got to turn the recent slide around, and this is going to be a real tough game to do it against because these are up in 3rd and they're a good side. This is the team that we're going with. Still issues on that left side. Callaghan just starting to return, but Prater's in there. It's not been great. He had a good start to the position, but he's not really found anything. But Sparks hasn't sort of done much either. And you could say that about across the team, apart from maybe Cowley. Everyone struggled. The defence has been played reasonably well, but we have been shipping goals. So pulled the wingers back this time. I did think about playing with this. This is what we used the last time we played Kiddie, I think, and we got the it's defensively sound, but I think I want to try and play on the front foot still a little. And I think we've got the tools to hurt most of the teams. We've got some decent results against some of the teams up there. So let's hope this works. Here we go then. With the new shirts, I was just thinking since we brought these new kits in, we've only won that game against Alfreton. We've been awful. I don't think there's anything in that, but anything to take the blame off me. Here's the start. Ward with the hopeful ball up, and Eswaley catches that out, but it's just popping the ball backwards and forwards. We need to settle. Woods does well, late receives and drives forward. He needs some help though. Into Prater, and then Woods has a go. Just wide. Not bad, but there wasn't enough support for late when he moved forward there. He sort of ran into a blind alley really, and it forced us to slow it down. I'll take that. Here's a corner. Come on then. Wardy puts it in towards Hughes. There it is! Yes! Of Come on, Adam Hughes. We don't. Every time I come on this, I'm about to say we don't score enough from corners. We've got a decent amount of height and agility in there, and then Adam Hughes seems to pop up. He loves it when it's on the channel. I know it's not in TV on the game, but it's like he knows. He likes the big occasion. Does Hughesy, and he's popped up with a big goal at the front post there. Could be a really important goal, unless we concede straight away from it by going to sleep from a free kick. No, straight to Kelly. He will take that all day. You can see the stands are, well, not packed, but on the game, the attendances, they don't really reflect what would probably happen in real life if we had Kidderminster in a league game, and it would be packed. So it is nice to see a sort of full stand, though. I imagine this will be up there for one of the higher attendances of the season, certainly in the league. So it's a good start. It's a good start, guys. We've restricted them to not much. They've had a lot more of the ball, but I'm not too bothered by that. Force back to the keeper, but that's fine. Let's play with it a little bit. Cowley, that's a great reverse ball. Late's clean through, surely for 2, and he smashes it into the top bins. Chris Late makes it 2. This is dreamland at the minute, guys. The first half performances recently have been terrible. We've had to fly out of the blocks in the second and get goals late on, but this is a great ball. Defending's awful. I don't know where the other centre half is, but emphatic finish as well. Considering the problems Leahy's had with his sort of finishing, it has come good in the last sort of couple of weeks. He has found the odd goal, and you wouldn't think there was any sort of drought before that going on with that finish. Bromsgrove lead 2-0. And we're looking confident now. Here's Late again. He needs some support though. He's surrounded by Kidderminster players. Go back. That's it. Good. Into Mulders. He's dispossessed though. Held on to it for too long. He's on a booking as well. Going to need to be careful. Ward blocks that out well. This is going to be nervy now. We need to just settle down and consolidate. Ward pops it forward. No, we need to keep the ball. We need to keep inviting pressure. We've got the 2-0. We can afford to just settle down a little bit. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I thought that was Nestle in top corner then. I am just going to bring it down a little bit. Just want to slow it down. Let's keep this tight now until half time. They can have the ball. I mean, we've been far more incisive, haven't we? There's a couple of half chances a couple of headers at this back post here that haven't really troubled, but it's an area that's just to be careful of. We need to stop giving the ball away. Come on, boys, see this out. See this out. Gilmore's found loads of space. Crosses well. Good block. And again, triple block. Boys putting themselves on the line for it today. That's a great ball, though. Said it was going to be from there. I think there's Whaley. I don't know if it's been Gilmore each time. It's a real shame after the defending getting in the way, putting the blocks in, and Eswele's just lost Gilmore. We might have to give him some attention. He's been a problem. Okay, so this is now going to be nervy. I'm still very pleased. It's still a great performance to get those 2 goals. I'd like to bring Mulders off, but no, we can do it. I don't need a sending off here. Woods can do that job now. We'll bring Welch on in the more defensive role. Now, Gilmore's been a problem. I think it's this switch ball as well. Let's show him onto his weaker foot. And Gilmore we need to be really aware of. That's been the danger. We've had a couple of warnings from that side. That switch ball. No. I'll leave it as it is, because apart from right at the end there, we've had the better of the attacking play. I just want to make sure that we're no, just positive. Late pings it up. Cowley a little bit isolated there though. And he's capable of winning those balls, but with no one around him, it's pointless. As Whaley closed down by Gilmore. Ward shuffles across. I don't know where this highlight's going. It's not the sort of start of the half one, so balls forward like that aren't good enough, Wardy. Well done. Up to Cowley, can't win the header though, and the ball just keeps coming back. As Whaley, good job. I can't even speak. Come on, boys, this is well done. We've seen that off well. We have seen that off well, to be fair. The wingers just a little bit more reserved, helping out the full-backs, which is what we needed to do. I would like to try and keep the ball a little bit more. Those sort of straight line balls from the back aren't good enough, and neither's that. Ward's been a culprit. I know he's sort of been under pressure a couple of times, but we're just handing the ball back to them and inviting crosses in like that. Yeah, see, they're in the ascendancy now. That goal just gives them that way back in, and we can't get hold of it. But Woods has done well to step out now, and we've got a break on. Come on, boys, Late's with you. Welch has got it now. Out to Prata. Can he deliver? Oh, God. That's not what we wanted. Right. It's too early to really sit in. I'm going to bring the Silver on just for some fresh legs. Katrosha's struggling a little bit. Just need to slow it down a little bit. The passing's been poor. We're giving the ball away too much. I think we need to just slow it down because we are getting forward and we're not getting the support up quickly enough. Just want us to hold our shape a little bit. I want the counter, but I do. It's going to be a full counter attack now, I think. Rather than sort of sitting in too much, just hold that shape when we haven't got the ball. Rather than we're pressing in and they're managing to play around us most of the time. Around here we can start to press, but it could be my famous last words with Gilmore dancing inside, but his shot's tame, and Kelly will keep hold of it. They've definitely taken initiative now since well, the whole second half really. Again, the ball up to Cowley. He's won the header, but there's no one around him, so why play it? It's a stupid pass. Luke Ward's doing my head in a little bit. That's a good header though. Prata brings it down well. Whips a cross ball into Cowley, and the keeper would come. Never know. Gamble on the mistake. I don't mind that ball. It gave him a chance. Ward just stop it. Letting him get up to speed. Now he's in behind. Lays it off. And slashes it wide. Just keep giving them the ball back. No. Well blocked. Cowley comes deep. Hold. Just hold. That's it. Now we've got boys coming forward. Cows! No. I don't want to see it again. Keep giving the ball away when we don't need to. There was no pressure there. If we're pressed and we just have to hoof it away, I'm fine with that. But there was no pressure to any of that. We've given it away stupidly. Giving it away really stupidly. And that was always going to happen. We keep inviting pressure. We have been for ages, and we've got away with it. Frankly, as far as I'm concerned, they're not doing as they're told, and we're going to end up losing this. Football match, despite being two up now. Now we're going to need to go direct, and we can be dangerous. But what do we push for the win in the last few minutes and risk the loss, or is the point good enough against the team right up there? I mean, at the moment, I suppose we're going to end up losing the game anyway, so we may as well go for it. See what happens here. I'm going to have to go for it because we'll concede. I mean, they've been wasteful. This second half, we've been really poor. I think we may as well step out and go for it, because if we stay as we are, we're going to lose the game. So let's push and let's change things a little bit and see. I'm going to go completely mad, but let's have a real push in the last few minutes. We've been a little bit more passive. We've been poor in the second half, so let's see if we can take the initiative back from the last little dying embers of the game. It's ball into Cowley, lays off for Woods, and surely, oh no, I've scored that. Oh, we'd all score that. My nan scored that. Woods with the chance. That was the one. That was the chance, definitely. And now here come Kiddy. Deflected, and it's a corner. Last action of the game, it's going to be a corner. Well away by Keaton Wood, and Cowley scampers after it. He's got support. If he can play it, Chase. You can't blow up there. Oh, I need a sec. To think on that. I mean, a point's not the worst, but 2-0 up. Decent first half performance. Fell to pieces in the second, but then right at the end there, Woods with that glorious chance, and he's put late through. I mean, Jason could have released the ball earlier, but still, I mean, he's through on goal there. It's a real shame that he's blown up. It is a bit unlucky. We made our own problems. I've tried to stop. I know that the centre backs, they're no nonsense centre backs, so they're not going to play around. But they just kept pumping those balls in a straight line, giving the ball back, and not just the centre backs, full backs as well. But the point keeps us there, and we're the only team that was our game in hand. So it puts us a point back ahead of Telford, Hereford, Southport. So I suppose we're still favourites. It's in our hands is the main thing. Great attendance there, 1,681. That's lovely to see. I can't be bothered with the press conference. Finances, we need it, because that's not great, is it? But there's nothing really much we can do about it. We're overspending a little bit, but that's not contributing to that huge amount. I did just want to see how our attendances were going. I'm in the wrong section, so I'm not going to find it there. Yeah, here we go. So attendances, yeah. So look at that, 1,681 compared to 447 the first season. That'd be highest gate receipts as well. No, that was for the FA Cup. That's fair enough. Lowest attendance is almost doubled, and the average has just over doubled. So that is at least a good sign. Obviously, we've made progress. Fans are happy. Board are happy. And why wouldn't they be? We've had a few rough patches, haven't we? But to be fair, we're up there in the playoffs, so we have to, take that on board. Wage budget we're struggling with a little bit, but repairing the club's financial damage, there's only so much we can do towards that. And we've obviously doubled attendances, had half decent cup runs. The FA Cup run was pretty good, so we would be a lot worse off. So it's in our hands, guys. We've just got to keep winning our games, and these are all winnable games, and it's more of the same, really, where we found the back of the net, but we're just a little bit lax at the back, and I think if we could have just held on till half time, maybe that would have made a difference. But anyway, it's a decent draw, and we could have won it at the end. Wood should have put that away, but there we are. 4 winnable games. I will come back before the end of the season, obviously, but the game will depend on how it's going. It would be nice if sort of results can go our way and we can lock in a playoff spot before the end. But if not, we'll come back for one of these last 2 games and hopefully secure a playoff spot. Or it'll go really, really badly, and I'll come back to let you know that. Anyway, like I said at the start of the video, if you haven't checked out the Bears Corner, where we've gone through some predictions for the second week of the Premier League games, go and have a look. It's bit rough and ready. It's just a little bit of fun, and we had fun. We all had fun making it. So hopefully you have some fun watching it. We're cracking on with Sporting, and Scott's moving forward with his save as well. And I've got a few more ideas, both for solo stuff, maybe some network game stuff, maybe some draft mode stuff. It'll all come eventually. It's just a case of when. But guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, notification bell, all of that stuff. And please let us know if there's anything specifically that you want to see for a series. FM related, specific teams, types of saves, or other content. I'm open to making a bunch of things. So please do let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Cheers.